and welcome once again to my channel. Today we'll be learning how to solve algebraic expressions by removing brackets and by expansion of brackets. We want to learn how to solve algebraic expressions by the act of removing brackets and by the expansion of brackets. Now let's go to the first one, which is solving algebraic expressions by removing the brackets. Now, if any quantity multiplies the term inside a bracket, every term inside the bracket must be multiplied by that quantity when the bracket is removed. And we have an expression here which says, in general, a times what we have in this bracket is x plus y. When we want to remove this bracket, we multiply a by everything that is inside the bracket. And we now say a times x, which gives us ax plus a times y, which gives us what? Ay. And similarly, when we have a times bracket x minus y, to remove this bracket, we say a times x, which is ax, and then a times minus y, which is minus ay. So whenever you have a quantity, and that quantity is multiplying a bracket, in order for you to remove that bracket, that quantity has to multiply everything that is inside the bracket. Now, let's look at some examples here. Let's call this example 1. It says remove the bracket from 4 brackets 3x minus 5y plus z. Remove the bracket from 3x minus 5y plus z. And also remove the bracket from, so example 2, remove the bracket from 3 minus bracket 7a minus 5. So let's start with the very first one. It says remove the bracket from 4 bracket 3x minus 5y plus z. Now, in order for us to do that, we have to multiply 4 by everything that is inside that bracket. So we'll now start by saying 4 times 3x minus 4 times 5y plus 4 times z, not 2. So now 4 times 3x will give you 12x minus 4 times 5y is what? 20y plus 4 times z will give you what? 4z. And since none of them are like terms, we cannot add or subtract them, so we leave the answer as it is. Let's go to the second example, which says 3 minus bracket 7a minus 5. Now you can see here that the 3 is not beside the bracket. What is beside the bracket is minus. The 3 is in front of the bracket. So this 3 will not multiply this bracket. Now, a very important point for us to note is that because there's a sign here before this bracket, this sign that says minus brackets, this minus actually carries a number, and that number is minus 1, because 1, if you multiply 1 with this, it doesn't change the value at all. So this minus means that there's a sign, there's a number, a value, and that value in front of it or beside it is 1. This minus sign means that there's a number in front of the bracket, and that number is 1. So now what we do is we write 3, and then we multiply everything in this bracket by minus 1. So now say minus 1 times 7a, and then also go on to say minus 1 times minus 5. So let me clean this. This minus is going to multiply everything inside here. Minus 1 times everything inside here. That's what we've done here. So now we now say minus 1 times 7a will give you minus 7a, and minus 1 times minus 5 will give us plus 5. So in this case, we have some like terms here. The like terms are 3 and 5. Why this is 7a. This is 7a. So what we do is we add the numbers together, 3 plus 5, and leave the algebra on its own. So 3 plus 5 will now be 8 minus 7a, which will be our final answer. So for this second aspect, unlike this first one will have a number before the bracket. So we now use that number to multiply everything inside that bracket. But in this second case here, there is no number in front of the bracket, but there is a sign, which is minus. So because we have a sign minus, we're going to use that minus to multiply everything inside the bracket. And because we don't want to just be saying that it's just a sign multiplying everything, we just say, let it be minus 1. Since 1 does not really, when you multiply 1 by a number or a value, that number will still maintain its value. So we're going to say minus 1 times everything in here. And then when you multiply it, you now get you now remove the bracket and then get your final answer. So that is how you solve algebraic expressions by removing of brackets. So now let's go to the second aspect, which is solving of algebraic expressions by expansion of brackets. Now, in order for us to expand the brackets, let's write something like this. We have A plus B, and we have C plus D. These are two expressions in brackets. So whenever you see something like this, what it means is A plus B times C plus D in bracket. That is what, whenever you see two expressions like this and like this side by side, this is what it actually means. So whenever you have something like this, what it simply means is that you're going to multiply these two expressions by each other. And the way you do that is you take one of the terms in the first bracket and you multiply everything in the second bracket. Then you take the second term in the first bracket and you multiply everything in the what? The second bracket. So you're going to have something like this. You now say A times everything in second one, which is C plus D. Then now say plus B times everything in the second bracket, which is C plus D. So this is how you arrange it. Say A, multiply everything here, then plus B, multiply everything here. It gives you something like this. So now when you now expand, you know how to expand by removing a bracket. Multiply this by this, it will give you AC plus AD. Then you now multiply this by this, move the bracket, plus BC plus BD. Okay, so if you could simplify this, if like you know, or this expression gives you like terms, then you can now go ahead to either add or subtract the like terms. But in this case, there's no like term. So this is how you expand brackets. Okay, if you're given an expression that asks you to expand the bracket, this is how you go about it. So now let's look at just one or two examples. And the example here, let me start. The first one says expand the following. Expand the following, simplifying where possible. Okay, so let's start with this first one that says bracket x minus 5 in brackets x plus 8. So we want to expand this bracket now. So how do we go about it? We do like we did here. We take this first term, multiply everything here, and we take this second term and multiply everything that is here. So we'll now start with x. X multiplies x plus 8. Then we'll now say minus 5. Minus 5 in bracket multiplies everything here, which is x plus 8 as well. So x times x will give you x squared. X times plus 8 will give you plus 8x. Then you go here, minus 5 times x will give you what? Minus 5x, while minus 5 times plus 8 to give you what? Minus 40. So you've gotten an expression now with different kind of terms. This 40 doesn't have an x, so it's not a similar term with this one. These ones are not also all similar, because where you have a power of 2 in this x, while this one has what? Singular power. So what do? The ones that are like terms, you now what? Combine them together, or you subtract them together. So here we can only see that 8x minus 5x are like terms. So what do? We now say plus 8x minus 5x. That will give us what? Plus 3x and minus 40. So that will now be your final answer. Now let's look for another example here. We have what here can contain. We have something that's like this. M plus 4n raised to the power 2. M plus 4n in bracket raised to the power 2. So now, in this case, when you see a question where the bracket is raised to power 2, it means you're going to multiply that bracket by itself. So m plus 4n raised to the power 2 will give us m plus 4n times m plus 4n. So multiplying it by itself. So we do like we've done here. M multiply everything here, then 4n multiply everything here. We now have m bracket m plus 4n, and we have plus 4n bracket what? M plus 4n. So when you multiply this times this, we give you m squared. This times this will give you plus 4mn. This times this will give you plus 4mn. This times this will give you what? Plus 16n squared. So when you look at it, you find that only this and this are like terms. So you now add this together, which will now give us m squared plus 8mn plus 16n squared. Hope you can see it. And that will now be our final answer. So in terms of expansion of brackets, when you are given two expressions in brackets and you're asked to expand, you simply what? Multiply those two brackets together. And when you're expanding or multiplying the brackets, please note that you take the first term in the first bracket, multiply everything in the second bracket, then you take the second term in the first bracket and multiply everything in the second bracket. Then you now what? Look for like terms. If there are any, you add or subtract them, and then you get your final answer. So that's all for today's video. If this video is very useful, please do give it a like and a thumbs up. Also, if you have any question, you can comment in the comment section. So don't forget to get notified by clicking the notification bell whenever I drop my other videos. And also please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.